This week's episode, we give you all the information from Peloton's investor call.
And competition from Apple, as well as my interview with Christie Witherell, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, your unofficial resource for everything Peloton. By the community, for the community. Here are your hosts, Mark O'Rourke in the UK and Amanda Siegel in the US.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, episode 7. I'm Mark O'Rourke, and I'm joined by Amanda, who is over in Maryland, USA. Amanda.
Mark, hi, how are you doing?
Doing great, thank you. Doing great. It's been a great week this week so far. What have you been up to?
It certainly has been, Mark. Another busy week in the Peloton world. All the hype of the Bike Plus and Tread is still very much out there with everything else that's going on, but yet another week with tons more news to report to you guys. So it has certainly been a fun week. My highlight of the week, no question, was Leanne Hainsby's Broadway ride last Wednesday. Oh my goodness, Mark, it was fantastic. I loved being on the leaderboard with you.
Wasn't it a lot of fun? It really was. And she looked fantastic, didn't she? I loved her hair. I loved the clothes that she was wearing. She was sparkly. She was brilliant.
It was amazing. It was amazing. And we keep saying that, just being able to jump on the leaderboard and get on with friends and folks we don't even know. I say this every week, just adds to how fantastic, the whole Peloton community and world is. But you know what, Mark, what makes the end of the week so wonderful, well, certainly for me, is being here, is being on Pelo Buddy TV and being able to bring to our community everything new that's going on. So truthfully, it just makes it so exciting and fun.
It is a lot of fun. People ask me, how what do you prepare? What do you do? Does it take long? And I say, yeah, we do. I mean, Chris Giles and Chris Lewis and Nigel and yourself and myself, we put a lot of effort into this, don't we? And the show comes out at the end, but the guys don't see all the work that's gone into it. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. And I know you do too.
Absolutely. I love it. It just, it culminates my week. It gives me purpose to know that we get to do something we're so passionate about, which makes it so much fun. So, Mark, before we get started with the news, we do want to let you guys know how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode, as well as breaking news items, is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure you never miss an episode.
And if you want to listen on the move, then subscribe to our podcasts by looking for Pelo Buddy TV.
Finally, we are on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms too for all of the latest news.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
In the news this week, we had the investor and analyst call, and John Foley came onto the call and came up with some really good information. And I took some notes during the call, and some interesting facts. There's now 103 Peloton stores around the world. Amanda, I'm not sure if you're aware of that. 103.
No, and that's amazing.
Yeah, and each day over 30 hours of live TV is being streamed, which is just mind-boggling. And they also mentioned that the apparel is doing really well, and it's outpacing the bike and the tread. And I think this is possibly down to you, Amanda, buying all the apparel.
Mark, it could very well be. Our mailman definitely was a little surprised by the huge box that arrived on my front doorstep. But you know what? I have to look good for the show, Mark, and I got to make sure that we are, sporting our Peloton apparel wear. So yeah, it is interesting because something that I had discovered from the earnings call the week before was that John Foley's wife is actually I'm not sure if she's the senior vice president of apparel, but I don't know if anybody knew that and that they were working together. So were you aware of that?
I wasn't, and it got my attention when I heard that, and I thought, wow, that's isn't that really interesting?
I listened to him being And it was a fantastic interview. And if anyone has the opportunity to take a listen to it, John was just so natural and normal. And it was really amazing hearing him. But it was lovely to hear him talk about his wife and how he's enjoyed working with her. And certainly in the pandemic of them being stuck at home and being with the kids, they have little kids, that they were continuing to be able to do this. And he actually said that apparel, and I think you just mentioned that, is one of the fastest growing aspects of the business. And I can believe that, Mark, because, you know, we find that they do these merch drops and the stuff just flies off the internet.
Because you're buying it all, that's why.
You may be right. I promise you guys, I leave some stuff for you guys. But that is really exciting.
John also talked about something we don't really see in the UK, something called the Net Promoter Score. And in the US, it's running at 94 NPS, which is just amazing. I mean, it says everything about Peloton, doesn't it? And he said that obviously through the epidemic, he talks about the community and how the community had engaged, and there was over 100,000 100,000 tags now, which was only introduced a couple of months ago, I think, and there's 795,000 participating members. I mean, this mind-blowing figures, isn't it? And what I loved about John talking about disruption, and I've heard him say this before on various interviews, and he talks about how Peloton are a disruptor in the market, and in the same way as in movies, Netflix and Amazon have kind of, shifted the whole way people are watching movies these days. And in music with Amazon and Spotify, it's affecting CD sales. And in books, bookshops are closing everywhere because Amazon have basically taken over. And then in the fitness world, Peloton have come in and disrupted the whole of the gym industry. And I think he talked about 36,000 gyms in the USA, just staggering figures. And they're all being affected by Peloton's massive growth through the last few months. Just amazing.
Yeah.
One last fact, Amanda. Sorry if I can just get this in, because it kind of relates to what I was just saying. They say that there's an average of 25 rides per month taken by members, and it works out on the subscription model at $1.15 per ride. And when you think about that, that's just massive value for money, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, it is amazing to have heard all of that. I mean, I have to say, I got so much out of what was being said. I do want to just clarify one thing, because you had mentioned that the Net Promoter Score is not a big thing in the UK. It is very big in America, and we base everything on it. There's companies that really focused, directly, and I'm speculating, but I think that Peloton work with Qualtrics, which is a big organization here in the States. And for those that don't know, the Net Promoter Score is out of 100. So and 94 is phenomenal.
Staggering.
And
it is.
And what he said, his goal is to get to 100.
I mean, he was serious. They really want to get as close to 100 as they can.
Absolutely, which is amazing. And, look, I think there's always work, and you're always going to find folks that will find something wrong. I know that with the release of the bike and not being able to get to customer service on time and people having queries, people are always going to be unhappy about something. But to have a Net Promoter Score of 94 with a new, not really a new business, they've been around for a while, but still, it is phenomenal.
New. It is.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Well, Mark, there was so much more. The possibility of new strength, yoga, and meditation instructors are in the near future. We're looking certainly forward to something like that. That was also teased in the call, as was that Peloton plans to launch 2 new verticals of workout content over the next few months that would require hardware devices. So I think that's another thing that we really should be excited about. Certainly, we need to look for tread content coming to the London studio once the new production studio opens in the spring of 2021, as they now have 3 studios set up. So I'm sure one's going to be set up for tread content, and it'll be fun to see the instructors on that. Also, Peloton plans to start producing German language tread classes in the future to complement their German language bike classes. Gosh, there was so much. They also plan to continue to try and get as many deliveries as possible done. and increase their, doubling the size of their van fleet through 2021 and hope to have it tripled by 2023. And lastly, Mark, Peloton's new Tonic facility is still back on track to open in December of 2020 and will have the ability to produce 1.5 million devices a year. It's just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. They also have the ability to shift production between bike and tread as needed. Tons of information.
Incredible. Yeah, and we've picked out the highlights, haven't we, Amanda? So if you want to find out more information, and there is a lot more information, then please go to pelobuddy.com and you'll find a lot of information there that we may have not touched upon.
So what we did see this week was Biked Bootcamp is live. Everyone was very excited to get access to the new bike community classes. And we saw 4 classes being dropped. There are 2 beginner classes and 2 intermediate. We have Robin, Cody, and new to the bike, Jess Sims. I tried one of these last week, and while I need to up my game, Mark, it was certainly a lot of fun, having to coordinate myself on the bike, jumping off the bike, putting my trainers on, doing, the floor exercises, and then hopping back on the bike was a different concept and something to get used to. But they make it so easy and so fun. And truthfully, I've never really worked out with Jess Sims. I'm not a runner, so I had never really worked out with her on the tread. So having her on the bike now is kind of fun. And of course, Cody is just Cody, and we just had a good laugh. But I did the Jess Sims one, and it was fantastic. It really was fantastic.
Great. I'm yet to do them, Amanda, but I do plan on aiming to do a boot camp at some point, and I will. An interesting news article came out as well on pelobuddy.com, which is obviously our reference point. Jay Balvin. This is a chap that I've not come across before, but he's the new featured artist series. And if you're not familiar with Jay, he has sold an amazing 35 million records and has won awards. He's won 2 Grammys, 5 Billboard Latin Music Awards. And there's going to be 5 workouts, including a 30-minute ride with Robin Arzon and Jess King.
Absolutely. So Mark, tell us what's next.
Yeah, so the next bit of news came from Apple. Now I love Apple. I think Amanda, you're the same. I know Chris Giles is Apple mad too. And during their launch of the Apple Watch and the new iPad, they made mention of their new Apple Fitness Plus. Now, this is a digital fitness platform, and it has a variety of workout types available, from tread to HIIT to rowing to cycling to yoga to core to strength and to cool downs. New workouts are going to be added every week. At the same time, we heard that Peloton are going to be announced. Peloton announced that there's going to be between 1,200 and 1,500 new classes per month, which is just mind-boggling. Amanda, look. Yeah, this wasn't a surprise coming from Apple. It was rumored for a number of weeks. What sort of effect do you think? Will it have an effect on Peloton, or what do you think?
It's an interesting question, Mark. I mean, look, again, we're Peloton junkies. We're never going to think that anything is going to surpass what what Peloton have created and what we're able to see from the Peloton platform. Good for Apple with the new watch coming out. I think that they definitely wanted to up their game. They certainly won't have the Bike Plus and treads and that Peloton have as their hardware. Maybe they'll have the content, but I can't see many folks switching over. And again, that's just my own personal perspective. Interestingly enough, Mark, Peloton tweeted that friendly competition is in our DNA. Welcome to the world of digital fitness at Apple. So, that was their tweet that they put out there, and good for being, the bigger guy in the playground. And
Amanda, I love that. I absolutely love that. I missed that. And when we were putting this show together, it came up, and I just thought, you know what? huge respect for Peloton to do that. They could have said anything, couldn't they? But it was polite, but it was also fairly powerful in just in a few words, wasn't it? It was great.
Absolutely. And look, competition is fantastic, because I think what it does is it then pushes folks, and certainly the Peloton folks, to continue to add content, keep themselves on their toes. And that really leads us into the next news article, which is that this week we also saw the launch of the Train Smart Strength Collection. It looks like there are 10-minute classes, and for right now there are only 8 of them. It's going to be interesting. I think another wonderful option for folks to be able to do something different. It's in the collection series. It gives folks an opportunity to do something different. And that goes back to what we were talking earlier about the fact that Peloton's on their game. They're constantly finding different things for us to do. So, while we laugh about the Apple launch and competition's good. It keeps them on their toes. It keeps us getting better content, on the Peloton platform. Peloton also launched the LatinX Heritage Month. This month honors the influence and strength of Latin America and Hispanic cultures. We will all be able to move to special themed classes featuring music from around the world with some of the biggest Latinx artists. In addition, Peloton will also donate $100,000 to the Hispanic Scholarship Fund. Just goes to show us again how Peloton is always forefront in being philanthropic and going and looking after all communities across their platforms. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Also in the news, Amanda, FlyWheel, a SoulCycle and Peloton competitor in the United States, have filed for bankruptcy as the pandemic continues to devastate the boutique fitness industry around the world and in the USA. FlyWheel's parent company filed for Chapter 7 in New York on late Monday. At its peak, the 10-year-old company had more than 40 studios across the USA. Meanwhile, SoulCycle have reopened dozens of studios and have begun selling its $2,500 in-home bike.
Mark, I think this is going to be very interesting. One thing, I'm always sad to see companies fold, and certainly through this pandemic, we've seen tons of that. I'm not sure if you're aware, but John Foley approached FlyWheel 5 years ago. When did he start his business? 5-6 years ago?
No, I didn't.
He actually approached them and they laughed at him and
Wow.
thought that bringing a bike into the home was the craziest idea that somebody could ever have had. So between FlyWheel and SoulCycle, who truthfully, we've said this a million times, to go and spend $30 every time you want to ride your bike, to have to look for parking, to have to sit next to sweaty, stinky people. I'm sticking with my Peloton. So SoulCycle can sell their $2,500 bike, but I got to tell you, there's no question that I'm sticking with Peloton. I think we've all grown so accustomed to being able to work out when we want, how we want to, and certainly not have to pay $30 a bike ride makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Mark, we saw the Tread Plus warranty extended to 5 years on the frame, motor, and belt. We also saw the bike warranty drop. I believe that it has for the 27-month extended warranty, the price dropped from $230 to $185. So again, taking care of their customers. Adding a 5-year warranty for the treads, dropping the price of the 27-month extended warranty for the bikes, just shows that they're constantly looking out for us, their consumer. And that just proves to us that Peloton is our number one.
And that's the end of the news for this week.
Let's get to know another person behind the leaderboard name in Pelo Chats.
I am truly humbled this week on Pelo Chats as I get to interview one of Pelo community's very special members, Christie Witherell. Christie, who's a mother of 4 and a NICU nurse, found herself in an unfortunate situation. Her husband lost his job recently, and with going back to school, felt she just couldn't justify having the bike and the cost associated with it. She jumped on the official Peloton page on Facebook and asked a simple question. Does anyone have any advice on how I can sell my bike? She proceeded to share her story, and the outcome, folks, of that post was overwhelming. We are so fortunate today to have Christie with us to share her story and tell us what happened. Christie, are you there?
I'm here, Amanda.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are truly honored. And honestly, Christie, I have been a member of the Peloton community for some time. And what always drew me to the page was everybody's weight loss journeys. I was somebody who was very overweight and took my life in control with Peloton in getting myself fitter before I turned 50. But boy, oh boy, your post tugged at my heartstrings, and it was an immediate reaction of, I got to interview her. She's absolutely incredible. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself, share with the community who you are, what you do, and the floor is yours.
Hi. Yes, I've been a nurse for about 12 years in the neonatal intensive care unit. I'm a mom of 4, 3 boys and a girl, and I've recently become a member of the Peloton community since March. When things started shutting down, me and my husband were trying to devise a way that we could work out at home, so we thought Peloton would be a good answer to that, and the community has just been awesome, and I've really enjoyed being a part of it.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what we've all found, right? That something about Peloton that's so different is the community, is that we have this unbelievable group of people that get together and are able to provide support. But tell us what happened as far as, as far as you're kind of waking up one day and just figuring that the expense of the, of the bike was just too much for you.
Yes, so I'm a nurse, but I'm also in graduate school right now to become a neonatal nurse practitioner. So I can't work full time. So we're relying on my husband's income quite a bit. And when he lost his job, I just started scrambling of ways that I could lower our bills. And that just seemed to be the first on the chopping block because it was, a fairly new purchase, and I just was scrambling to try to figure out ways. So I went on Facebook because I figured there were some pages to sell. So I just went on there, typed it up, and I actually got overwhelmed. So I went on a bike ride with my daughter. And when I came back, it was just overwhelming, the responses that I had. And they actually went and stalked me and found my Venmo on their own. And it was just so overwhelming. And it just gave my heart so much joy to find so many wonderful people still left in the world.
I have goosebumps all over my body right now because that is just unbelievable. I didn't realize that part about it. I thought people had asked for your Venmo. So for those that are watching. Yeah. So for those of you watching from the UK, Venmo is the most incredible application we have here in the States, where you can literally pay folks via an app. There's no bank involved. You just, if you need to, you owe somebody money or you need to pay somebody money, you can do it through this app, and the money goes directly into the person you're paying's account, and it can get transferred into their bank account. And it's pretty awesome because it does give you that. So people started donating. I mean, I know I donated in a heartbeat. It wasn't even a consideration. It was like, absolutely, here we go. So what ended up happening, Christie? It really was quite overwhelming.
Yes, and so there some people that were asking for the Venmo name. Eventually, I just gave in and gave it to them, and it was just the messages I was getting on Venmo were so heartwarming. And then everyone on the Facebook page started sharing stories about their NICU babies, which I loved. It just brought tears to my eyes, and my husband was also tearing up. We were just so overwhelmed with the kindness of everyone.
Yeah. So you know what? It shows us, Christie, there's still good in the world, and there are still good people out there. And that to me makes us all just stop and think. We've constantly over the last year have seen, just so much tragedy and sadness, and certainly how COVID hit us all, and so many lost their jobs. I think that for somebody like yourself, I mean, this is just, honestly, I have no words. I really have no words, because for me, it just proves that we are still human and everybody still has hearts. And that to me is just amazing. And it is this Peloton community. We are a family. We don't know each other from Adam. It's just part of this environment that we all feel so strongly connected to. So that's just amazing. So not only were you able to keep your bike and have enough money to pay that off, but I believe the subscriptions too, and maybe there was even a little bit left over.
Yes, there is. So I plan on helping pay my bills until my husband finds a job. And then after that, I plan on paying it forward, and I'm going to keep everyone updated on what I do with the extra.
Christie,
so that will be to come.
you are an exceptional woman, and honestly, I mean, I thought you were exceptional being a NICU nurse. I'm a mother of preemie twins, so I certainly understand understand what you do. And honestly, I thought that made you an angel, but truly, you are an incredible woman, and we're so proud to have you in the community, and certainly to interview you here on Pelo Buddy and share your story with the rest of the world. Wow, I'm at a loss for words, and that doesn't happen much with Amanda. So,
thank you.
Really appreciate you taking the time. Anything else you'd like to share about your experience just on the bike, and what besides the generosity of the community, just your own experience with the bike? How did you find the bike? How did you guys decide that Peloton? I mean, I know you had said being home, but what kind of drew you to Peloton?
We recently moved a few years ago, and I had a spin studio where I used to live that I loved. And when we moved, I really couldn't find anything similar, and someone recommended Peloton to me, and I looked into it, and the instructors remind me of the instructors that I used to spin with in my old hometown. So just really funny and uplifting, and I've really enjoyed that. And just having 4 kids and going to school, the convenience of having it at home, and I can hop on whenever I want. It's just amazing to have that at home. It's just been such a blessing to have it here. I can use it whenever I want. So
Absolutely. I mean, that is the convenience, and through us all having to deal with, the pandemic and being stuck at home, it's given us all an opportunity to continue. And I'm sure with your own mental health, I know for me, that's been a major, part of it, just giving that, whether it's 20 minutes or half an hour or even 10 minutes, just to get on that bike and be in your own, in your own world. So that's just phenomenal. Well, Christie,
my kids even love it.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah. So, how old are they? What are the ages of your kids?
My oldest is 12, and then I have a 10-year-old boy and a 7-year-old boy, and my youngest, the girl, will be 3 on Halloween.
That was the one that you really wanted, right?
Yes.
You need to get that girl.
Yeah.
You're a good person, and God gave you your wish. So how incredible for you. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you have a busy schedule. We're going to end off with something fun, Christie. I do just a fun 60-second descending and recovery segment. I'm going to shoot a couple questions out to you, fire away a couple questions. You'll give me your answers, and let's see if we can get them all in 60 seconds. Just a fun added benefit of our chat. Are you ready?
Yes.
Super. All right. Bike or tread?
Bike.
Favorite instructor?
Cody.
High cadence or high resistance?
Cadence.
Early bird rider or night owl?
Night owl.
Meditation or strength training?
Meditation.
Live or on-demand classes?
Live.
First class you've ever taken?
It was a beginner's ride with Cody.
All right. And favorite class you've ever taken?
Cody's latest live ride, the XOXO. It was a lot of fun.
And a crazy question, but craziest leaderboard name you've ever seen?
Oh.
10 seconds.
My booty hurts.
That is a pretty funny one. Excellent, Christie. That's awesome. Awesome. So most important question, or I'm sure the 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 people that have seen your post already know, but what's your leaderboard name?
Caffeine Mama _RN.
Fantastic. I'm sure you need a lot of caffeine.
Yes.
both for the 4 kids, staying up late to study, and being a NICU nurse. You certainly are going to need that caffeine. Christie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of this community. We'd love to have you back on the show, perhaps in 6 months or so, and follow up and see how you're doing. And we're hoping that you continue on this journey, gaining your strength and your mental strength, and just keep pedaling. We love having you in part of the community.
Thank you so much, Amanda.
And thank you, Christie. Take care, love. See you soon.
It's time to celebrate our fans' milestones with Pelo Shouts.
Big shout out to Texas. Yes, oh yes, 2,000 looking good at you. Thank you so much for celebrating me today.
Today, Creme 7, happy first ride to you. Come on. Sherry S, what's going on? Happy 500 rides today.
What's up, Monkey Tennis at happy 200.
Eric Kim, welcome to the family.
Race, Mark races 450 today. Yes, Mark.
Chris and Giles, yes to you.
Did you hit a milestone this week and get a shout out by your favorite instructor? Don't forget to let us know.
Hi Mark, hi Amanda. Welcome to our Pelo Corner. I'm Dave, aka Cardiff Red 29, and Linda, aka Fuzzy Paws. You'll have seen us about on the forums, no doubt. If you like us, you like to talk about your Peloton, show off your Peloton at every opportunity, whether people want to know about it or not. So when the opportunity came for us to showcase this little beauty from kboarchery.com, we jumped at it. So as you can see, we've got our leaderboard names up there on the wall in beautiful letters that just pop. So you can pick up letters in a number of different shapes, sizes, fonts, colours, whatever takes your fancy. So pop on over, kboarchery.com, pick up your leaderboard name. Great conversation piece for your next Zoom party. Thank you for having me. This is Dave, Cardiff Red, signing out.
So another action-packed episode, Amanda. You know, we've heard loads of information from the investor call.
And we saw a new competitor with Apple Fitness. Mark, I felt so honored to have also interviewed Christie and shared her story. It was truly amazing. So folks, don't forget to keep up with all of our news and tune in to Pelo Buddy TV, whether it be on podcast or social media. We encourage you to listen each week. There's always something new.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your unofficial resource for everything Peloton. By the community, for the community. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode.